As usual, I've had to do take two of this video talking about the power of words. All this nonsense that's coming out of my mouth these days, well, it's not nonsense. All these truths that I'm braving to say these days have been caused by this cancer thing. I just keep remembering things that I really don't want to remember. And I'm thinking that maybe God wants me to reason these things out, like to understand what these things meant and to understand the impact they had on my life or the impact words like that would have on somebody else's life. And by sharing it, I'm sharing so people out there, whoever is going to be watching these videos and listening to what I'm saying, you will be conscious. If you choose to do these things, you will be doing them consciously, knowing that this is the impact they have on people. So, yeah, I was talking about this person. I'm not even going to say what the title of the relationship this person had to me or to my family or to my mother, but what she said affected me all my life. And when I think right now, when I look back, I never even got married because in my mind, I wasn't worthy of getting married. Who wants to get married to somebody who is going to be nobody and nothing? Who wants to get married to somebody who is not going to be able to have children? Who wants to get married to somebody who is going to die young? And even if somebody wanted to do that, did I really want to subject somebody to that? I always felt the pain of other people. I felt the pain for other people, sometimes even before they feel it. And it really made me behave in the ways that I behaved. It really guided the choices that I made. So a lot of times I worked against my own benefit just to protect other people. So yeah, I grew up and lived through most of my adulthood believing I was nothing and that I would amount to nothing and that I would die young. I would never reach 50. And this is where the prayer part came in. I literally was praying against what was said and not realizing that I could actually pray for things beyond what was said, things better than what was being predicted by a human being. So I prayed that I would live to be 50 just to prove a wrong. I would say things like, even if I died as soon as I turned 50, that would be fine. At least I will have reached 50 against her wishes. And even when I did my GCSEs, I never even thought about I could do A levels, I could go to university. Because to me, it would be a great favor from God to be allowed to even finish GCSEs. So I prayed that I would finish GCSEs and I would pass very well, and God granted that. And then from there, I was praying that I would be granted a child. And guys, I dated a guy who was not even interested in children and didn't even have the common decency to tell me that he didn't like children. He had no intentions of wanting to have children with me. And we dated for close to 6 years. And it's just dodging the subject, even though we talked about having kids, but it was just dodging and dodging the subject. When I think back at oh my God, sorry. Oh my God. I've just witnessed my neighbor. Oh, sorry, my dear. Oh, when somebody trips and just goes. Oh, anyway, back to the. See, I don't like people having pain. I don't like that. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't ever like, not even somebody I don't like. I just don't like anybody experiencing pain. Anyway, back to this story. So now I'm praying, God, please at least allow me to have a child. you know. And then I'm dating this guy who just wants to have fun, who just wants to travel. I worked in the travel industry uh, back then, and so I had opportunities to travel either for free, is complimentary tickets, or greatly discounted. You know, like I could go on a trip and pay just 10% of the total amount because I worked in the industry. So with him, I think that was the benefit that he was getting from me. We could go anywhere we wanted and we would never pay the full price. And then, so whenever I brought up the subject of having kids, he'd be like, yeah, 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 we will have kids. We will have, as we agreed, blah, blah, blah. But just stalling and stalling and dodging the subject. And then I ended up feeling like, so this woman is now succeeding in preventing me from having kids. If this man that I'm in love with is not interested in getting married and not even interested in just giving me a child, at that point, I would have had the child even outside of marriage. And because I didn't want, and that was one of my prayers as well. I did not want to have a child with somebody I wasn't in love with. I did not want to have a child with somebody who didn't love me. So I had guys that were coming after me and promising all sorts, but I was in love with this. Love is so stupid, guys. Sometimes love is so senseless, nonsensical, and stupid. I was in love with somebody that didn't care. And I would have given even my kidney and my lung and my heart and everything to this in my brain. But he was just play acting the whole time. Anyway, I'm thinking now it's 3 years. We're not talking about marriages yet. We're not planning marriages yet. We're just talking about it, not planning. And then it's 4 years, and then it's 5 years. I'm like, no, 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 no. Now I just want a child. If he doesn't want to get married, fine. But I want a child. And I want a child with him because I'm in love with him. If he's going to break my heart and break up with me, that's fine. If I don't have a child with this person, I don't want a child. So anyway, I then decided, you know what, I'm going to have a child. Went on holiday. I booked a holiday, paid for everything. 5-star whatever, a whole week. And this is where I got pregnant. This is where I got pregnant. And then, yeah, by getting pregnant, the day I got back home from it, this was in South Africa, Sandton City, the place where we went to. My son actually used to be called the name of the hotel. I'm not going to say it because I don't want him to end up being called this name. Anyway, we came back home. And because I had made sure that we did the deed without protection, in my mind, I was already calculating and thinking, yeah, it's been a week while we were away, got back home over the weekend, and the first thing I did on the Monday was to go and get tested, pregnancy test. I actually went to the GPs. I didn't even know you could buy your own pregnancy test kit. I went to the GP, and behold, the man that used to work in the he was kind of an assistant in the GP surgery, was my uncle. So I get there and he's like, what do you want? And blah, blah, blah. I was like, don't worry, I'm not ill. I just need to see the doctor. Well, you need to tell me what you want to see the doctor about. And I had to tell him, and his face dropped because he knew what my mother was like. He was like, why would you do this to me? Right now, if I do the test and it comes positive and you're pregnant, I'm bound to keeping your secret. And yet, your mother is eventually going to find out and she's going to come after me for not telling her. I was like, don't you worry. If I'm pregnant, I'm going to tell her myself straight away. And that's what I did. I was told, yeah, you're pregnant. The first person I ran to tell was my mother. And I was not prepared for the response that came. I was honestly not expecting it. I'm gonna have to do another video.